as a society, 500 million years from now, the Earth explodes, or I mean, the fucking sun explodes, and we're no more civilization. I mean, doesn't matter. Yeah, there's bigger things happening in this operation than this little stuff that's going on. Oh man, can I play that after you? We just have a little distortion. Hey, if you put it through that interface, it'll compress it and make it sound a lot better. Add a little power to it. Add a little power to it. Compressor right there. You can run through it into the amp. It's amazing. Scarlet Solo. Let me get that. Seal that up. Yeah, Focus right. Scarlet Solo. There's other versions of the Scarlet. This is that. I bought this with my 8-string. Or for Dell. Something I got left of it. That's a cool subject, and that's 1984. 1984, often published as 1984, is a dystopian novel by English writer George Orwell, published in June 1949, whose themes center on the risks of government overreach, totalitarianism, and repressive regimentation of all persons and behaviors within society. The novel is set in an imagined future, the year 1984, when much of the world has fallen victim to perpetual war, omnipresent government surveillance, historical negationism, and propaganda. That sounds like what's going on right now. All right. Yeah. Now I remember a book when I was in like elementary school, and it was a little book that they drove all green cars, and they went to all the jobs, and they did the same job, and they all had the same clothes on, the whole world. But then at the end of the book, it was like, well, that's why we're not like that, because we are diverse and we have a diversity, and it had showed all the different colors and all the different things right at the end of the book. One page, but all the rest of it was like militant. All the way through, it was militant, and at the end, it was like tie-dye. This is how we are, actually. That's why we're not that way. Why was that idea even implemented into it? It was, I believe. Fahrenheit 451. And I wish you could have you talking to the mic. Can you at least talk in the mic and not be on video? Because we're talking about some cool stuff. Just be like right there and like talking to it. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Your ideas are like, I want them to be proliferated because. Yeah, Ray Bradbury. I was a kid though, in school, in elementary school. 1984. Yeah, that's why I looked it up. You told me. Yeah, don't stew on it. Well, the reason why it's being stewed on though is because there's potential and imminent espionage occurring. That's why this occurrence and proliferation of protection and barricading and bulwarking is occurring. Bulwark is like a wall. It's a wall. It's a protection paladin, stopping you from coming into my territory. It's a wall. It's bulwarking, warmongering, war. Some people would call a type of warmongering. The Berlin Wall was torn down. Not only Trump has said this, that the wall needs to be built, but Barack Obama said it. Also, President Bush said it. There's many presidents that have said that we need a wall. I have no difference in the I have no difference in the matter. Even if I say, hey, I want that wall built, or hey, I don't want that wall built, they're not going to listen to me, are they? You could write your, or you could fucking proliferate it on the internet for them to see. But what if I'm neutral and I just don't care, and I just want to, I want to perceive what happens instead of actually be a part of it? What if I don't want no part of it? I don't want a part of it. That say yes or no, because if I say no, somebody's gonna hate me. If I say yes, somebody's gonna hate me. If I say no, if I don't know, somebody's gonna hate me. The multiverse of bullshit that I just want to stay out of. Activism. It's scary to me. That's why I want a bulwark. Yeah. Sorry, buddy. Protest. Well, see, legislators can make their own laws. That's not good for our Constitution. Well, we can do something, but if they're going to say yes or no is another factor of the matter. You know how much time they give you on stand? You say you even if you're somebody that's like well known, they just give you a little bit of time and then you're gone. Yeah. Peace. Want to watch it right now with me? Can we watch it together? A little bit of it? That's okay. What is it? I wanted Ron Paul to be our president. He's AWO, bro. He's Wolfpack, bro. Straight up. We're the Wolfpack, bro. We stick together, bro. We're the Wolfpack, bro. We get a civil. Well, this channel is about civil liberties, you know, and expressing them, being an expressionate person, and artful, delightful, being nice, having a good understanding. Like, because I'm not somebody that is going to be a form of oppression or fear emitting. I don't want that to happen on here or in. I understand, but I'm only perceiving it. We're only perceiving what's going on and telling people and informing them. And Infowars.com is the closest compared to news media because new media lies to you. They're paid by Associated Press and Reuters, and they're paid to say particular things, like when this person gets into suicide and this person took their life is what they're supposed to say. They don't say suicide. They're not allowed to because it's indoctrination of our fucking institutionalization of the way the corporatism is going through and the globalism is coming through. It's globalists, bro. It's globalist, and it's proven effective words to be able to form a government. You know what Thomas Jefferson said? That one time, if any time in the world that central bank takes control of our financial system, is that our property will be taken. Inner systems will be taken because of the controls and loopholes and legislators and the being able to come into from other foreign trade policies as moles from other espionage-centric government systems will fuck our economy up, our economy and money. Fuck us up. That's where Alex Jones is coming from, every way, and that's what I'm trying to be like. Is this real? I mean, it's research and what he's saying, and look at what's going on because that's important. Bernie Sanders, Joe Rogan. I listened to it already. Yeah, at work. Yeah, I want to play it on here. That's great. I think he sums up a lot of things.
And we're live. Hello, Bernie.
How are you, Joe?
Wonderful. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
It's exciting to have you here, man. And it's obviously an exciting time for you. Presidential campaign is up in full swing. Do you get frustrated by the time constraints of the debates?
Absolutely. You shouldn't even call them a debate. What they are is a reality TV show in which you have to come up with a soundbite and all that stuff. It is the meaning. It's the meaning to the candidates, and it's the meaning to the American people. You can't explain the complexity of healthcare in America in 45 seconds. Nobody can.
But why is it still done that way? If you try to, let's pull this thing. Bring it right there.
I think the DNC is in a difficult position. They have 20-plus candidates, and they want to give everybody a fair shot, which is the right thing to do. And then if you're going to have 10 candidates up on the stage, what do? But there are other ways that we've got to do it because the issues facing this country are so enormous and in some cases so complicated. Nobody in the world can honestly explain them in 45 seconds. And then what encourages people to do is to come up with sound bites and do absurd things. If I yelled and screamed on the show, I took my clothes off.
Lyrical bullets, chop off redneck
bullets. You give a thoughtful answer to a complicated question.
Perfection is my open-minded that I mentioned.
Well, you don't even have a chance to give a thoughtful answer. Like
nobody can be perfect.
Kamala
Nobody's
Harris.
perfect.
Kamala Harris.
And then I'm chopping off redneck bullets. I ship perfection is my open-minded. That's my open-minded.
To have something that's such an important issue.
Bullshit.
Did you or did you not put all those people in jail for marijuana? Did you laugh about it? Did this happen? Did that happen? All these different things.
I'm chopping off redneck bullets. My lyrical bullets.
These are a long
and that bust out
conversation.
music.
But it takes us to another issue.
And resonating.
That as a nation, we do a pretty bad job in analyzing and discussing the serious issues facing our country. And I hold the media to some degree responsible for that. Other countries, what they do is they say, Joe, you want to run for president? I'll tell you what, with your party in the general election, we're going to give you a certain amount of time, hours, on television. And you use those hours any way you want. You want a 15-minute discourse. You remember Ross Perot?
Yes.
And people used to laugh at Ross Perot because he used to get up there with the chart and all this stuff. And the media made fun of him. But in fact, he tried in his own way to explain his point of view to the American people. We need serious discussion on serious issues.
Well, he had because he was so rich, he had the ability to buy airtime on network television, which is pretty unprecedented. He just bought a chunk of airtime and then pled his case.
But you know what goes on in other countries? You don't have to buy that time. What the obligation is, if you are a network, you're going to make that time.
Yeah, you like my mouse pad.
To candidates.
Do you think that that's something that could be viable in America? I mean, could you convince CBS and NBC and ABC to go along with something like that?
No, you couldn't convince them. You'd have to pass legislation to make that happen.
But everyone's online today. The entire country is essentially getting email and Facebook and all that jazz. Like, why bother doing it in this particular medium that has an inherent time constraint?
We're doing a little bit of AWO Liberty Hour.
The internet has revolutionized politics.
The Sketch Squad, man.
In many ways, good ways. We use.
Alrighty then, welcome to the Sketch Squad. Kool-Aid Man entry. Oh yeah!
Doing it the same way, but television still has a very important role to be playing.
I'm sure it does, but I mean, the ability to discuss things in long form, like you can do online, like you can do right here, right now.
Right.
You can't get that on television.
Well, you could. I mean, if you had, sure
they would
you
have
could.
they would have to interrupt you every 15 minutes or so.
No. What I'm saying about is and what goes on in other countries. If I'm not mistaken, don't hold me to this. I think in the UK, you're a member of the Labour Party. You're a candidate. Mm-hmm. Here's 30 minutes of time, and you do with it as you want. You want to speak 30 minutes on health.